Hello and welcome to another new video. In this video, we are going to learn about the anatomy and what was inside of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. When both of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were completed in 1973, each of the Twin Towers had 110 floors, but the North Tower was a little taller than the South Tower, standing at 1,368 feet. The South Tower, on the other hand, stood 1,362 feet. In 1978, the antenna was mounted onto the North Tower. The antenna alone stood 360 feet. That made the North Tower much taller to a total of 1,728 feet. Both of the Twin Towers were mostly made of steel and concrete, with glass windows, steel frame structures, and aluminium claddings. Both of the Twin Tower had basements at the bottom. The light grey sections of the Twin Towers indicated the sky lobbies. Their purpose was to switch elevators and to express their ways quickly to upper or lower floors. Both of the Twin Towers had rooftops. The South Tower had an observation deck and a restaurant at the very top of the roof. It was for tourism and a great view of New York City. On top of the North Tower had a 360-foot antenna, which was for communication, television, radio and news broadcasting. On a fateful tragic morning of September 11, 2001, the first plane, American Airlines Flight 11, struck the north side of the North Tower at around 8:46 at a speed of 440 miles per hour. When the plane struck the North Tower, it struck it between 93 and 99 floors. Then, shortly later on thereafter, at around 9:03, a second plane, United Airlines Flight 175, struck the south side of the South Tower at a speed of 590 miles per hour. When the plane struck the South Tower, it hit between the floors 77 and 85. The shape of the damage on the South Tower was wider and more open and tilted than the damage on the North Tower. The shape of the damage on the North Tower was straighter, narrower and horizontal than the damage on the South Tower. Since the South Tower had more damage and was located at lower part than the North Tower, the South Tower could not hold the weight of the upper part of its impacted area much longer. This kind of so much damage caused the South Tower tilt over at around 20 or 30 degrees when it was about to collapse. That kind of impact caused the South Tower to collapse shorter and earlier than the North Tower at around 9:59. Since the damage on the North Tower was straight and narrow at the upper part of it, the North Tower collapsed straight down. It did not tilt over unlike the South Tower. Then, at around 10:28, shortly after the South Tower collapsed, the North Tower began to collapse to the ground. Sadly, both of the Twin Towers were gone. Even though we tragically lost the Twin Towers, they will always be remembered in our hearts and we always stand up strong against terrorism. Our patriotism, our spirits, and our pride will never be taken away. This video is dedicated to the brave firefighters and the police officers who lost their lives while trying to save people's lives from the fallen Twin Towers. Thank you for watching. God bless America.